If there's one place that defines American motorsport, it's here. The sandy beaches a few miles away held races for decades. It's where NASCAR was born. They need a place to race, a superspeedway so fast and so huge that the cars could run flat out all the way around. So they built it. 1 million square yards of earth was moved to create the banking. The void left behind became Lake Lloyd. And 2.5 miles of asphalt created more than just one of the most beautiful racetracks in the world. It built the foundation of NASCAR. In the decades that followed, Daytona became hallowed ground. The trophies here mean more than any other. Win the 500, put your name on the Harley J. Earl Trophy. Win the 24 hours and strap a Rolex on your wrist. The banks are not always kind. They're not always fair. And while Daytona wins bring a statistical highlight to any career, it's the losses that make it seem pointless. But for every untimely ending, there is a triumphant healing. For every emotional victory, a mind-numbing realization.
Tom O'Gorman fighting for every inch that he can possibly get. Won the last TCR race of last year, Road Atlanta, starting things off in exactly the right style. It is victory for Tom O'Gorman and the LA Auto team.
I won at Daytona. I earned a trophy at the World Center of Racing. The checkered flag waved for me. For me, it was not the end of a career. While it may be a highlight, it is only the beginning. It's just the best day ever.
Welcome everyone to the high banks of Daytona, where we will set the stage for the Spec Racer Ford vRunOff, the 26th edition of this race. We got a bunch of cars riding the track, majority of which from the passing Weekend Warriors season. My name is Finny Kuna here with Liam Sheen for SYM TV, bringing you the action here. We got qualifying underway, Liam, but looking forward to a great race. It should be very entertaining here at Daytona.
Yeah, I believe this is just a for fun event, as the champion was crowned last week at, I believe it was Phoenix. Phoenix 08 with their road course that no longer exists, but it's still here in iRacing, and I believe it was the 44 that snagged the championship with the worst finish of 5th.
Yeah, Mauricio Naselli, a really good driver. I don't think he's here today. He has decided to take a little bit of break between their seasons because I think they're going to be starting up immediately following the iRacing schedule next week. So with that, we'll cut to the action here. But before we do that, I want to just give a quick thank you to the sponsor, 42 Stitches. Whether it's that one piece for that special gift or 1,000 to make your organization stand out, 42 Stitches has you covered. Custom embroidery and heat transfer on a wide variety of items, shirts, hats, jackets, even flame retardant applications where safety is a concern. Check us out at 42stitches.com and shoot us an email to info@42stitches.com to get your project started. And also, too, we'll go through the, as a few drivers have started to put a time down for qualifying. Took them a very long time. They've just now completed their first time laps here. Austin Winter taking provisional pole at the moment. Let's go through just the track information here. Actually, we don't have that set up for this configuration because I forgot we're on the NASCAR layout.
And they constructed this year.
That is true. This layout is constructed this year, and yeah, we have to mention too that we're on the NASCAR version of the Daytona road course, featuring a chicane in between NASCAR Turn 4 and the pit lane entry. You can see right there. Going to slow these guys down. Going to give them another passing opportunity, which I think definitely helps with this particular car, because these guys are just going to be a constant slipstream fest between on the oval section and even in the infield for that matter as well. So this is another passing opportunity on the oval for these drivers to take advantage of. Also, we'll go through a little bit of your format here as we look at now Rodrigo Duran, who's currently sitting on provisional pole. We have 3 races for you tonight. Qualifying is underway, open qualifying for these drivers. Then we have 2 heat races, only 4 laps apiece, where we'll set the grid for the main event, which will be 15 laps. Also, a big thing too for the heat races, we'll invert the top 4 in each to put the leader back to 4th place or back of the 4th row. In their respective column for the grid for the feature race. So it should be interesting stuff here. Some fairly short races, although lap-wise they're short. However, time-wise they're fairly long in this car.
Yeah, these cars pretty much just, I feel like snails on the oval. Like this is they pretty much go 107 going into the corner, and that's barely anything when you compare it to like a GTE, a DP, or even a NASCAR car.
Yeah, because when you have stock cars flying around here 200 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour is extremely slow. You see Rodrigo Duran giving a little bit of a bump draft to Berbergal right in front of him. They're trying to help him out. There are a few, so again, most of the names are drivers from the Weekend Warriors season. This is, again, as you mentioned earlier, they're fun race in between the seasons. They're kind of week 13, or in this case, week 14. Special event. Some other notable drivers that we haven't seen, I want to say haven't seen, Alan Schneider. He's painted the same as the team for Duran and Berbergal. So interesting seeing what he's got in store here. It's currently sitting in 3rd. And as far as that's concerned, most of the other drivers I can see in here anywhere near the top of the standings are returning drivers. But one driver I definitely want to keep out for is Jonathan Madden.
Yeah, Jonathan Madden, not related to the NFL guy. He is second, 6/10 behind Rodrigo Duran. He has a huge gap. That's impressive with how these cars are. You have to be pretty precise to get that good of a lap and nail that draft correctly.
Yeah, and for John Madden too, he was leading practice by quite a bit. He was leading practice over second place by around, I want to say, it was 6/10 of a second, the gap between himself and second place. So we'll see if he can get that speed going again here before qualifying is wrapped up, as he's on the oval section and working his way back around. But 6.5 minutes left in qualifying. Trying to see any other notables. Austin Winter, kind of rooting for him. I don't believe did he win the race last week at Phoenix?
No, he did not. It was the 10. I believe it was a 10. I'm not too sure, but he came back from a spin late in the race and he somehow snagged the win away. But the 33 was involved in a really late battle that race. I'm not sure he won. I think he got a podium though.
Yeah, I know. There's a reason I say that because, again, Winter just winless this season. And he's been so close on a numerous amount of occasions. I'm not just saying it because of his name. He has been extremely close to getting the win on multiple occasions, but just not been able to get it done. He's currently sitting in 5th, so I'm kind of pulling for him. Broadcasters shouldn't really have a bias, but I'm going to say right here, have a little bit of a bias for Winter. I hope that in itself doesn't jinx him, but hopefully he can put on a good performance here at Daytona. I'm trying to look at some other notables. Florence Arabian running pretty well in 8th place at the moment. He's exceeding a little bit of a train of cars. And this is definitely going to be the typical, I think, for these guys in the banking running in a pack.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how everybody gets their cars wound down going into this corner here. It's gonna create a really big passing opportunity. If you don't get good runs off these corners, it really hurts you. And you see the 42 car here make a really good move on that car that had a really bad run off the corner, or vice versa. You just had a really good run off the corner, but that creates passing opportunities. You just got to be perfect here and not make a mistake off the corners, or it'll really hurt your lap time.
Yeah, and the big thing too, or what I wanted to ask you really, is out of all the corners here, which do you think is going to be the biggest trouble spot for these particular cars?
I want to say probably there where that car just went off. This corner is
International
every,
Horseshoe.
yeah, the International Horseshoe. Everybody's gonna be trying to get up to speed as much as they can, and then they come into a really big braking zone and a really sharp corner here. So everybody's gonna have to slow their cars down and get in line, or else they'll fall out of the lead draft. And perhaps maybe some incidents may happen here where people just try to get a little aggressive going into the corner.
Yeah, and this is interesting because again, typically the big trouble spot is usually turn one because you're coming at such a typically a high rate of speed, almost in excess of 170 miles an hour, coming into this braking zone. But again, with the front stretch chicane kind of slowing them down a little bit, although these guys are only really getting up to around 100 miles an hour before they head into this corner, which is fast for these cars, but should be more than enough for them to handle to slow them down for that corner, so we shouldn't see too much trouble there. But I definitely agree. I think the really both horseshoes, for that matter, the West Horseshoe and the International Horseshoe, are going to be a bit of trouble due to the heavy braking nature. And we might see some guys maybe send it a bit here and there, and I'll have to keep an eye on it. But Rodrigo Duran up on the top of the standings. Rafael Berbagal only a 10th off from his teammate.
Yeah, that is a. This team is pretty much the dream team right now with how quick all of these guys are. I mean, you see the, I guess the leader of this group is on the pole right now, but maybe Rodrigo's trying to help these guys, coach them around a little bit to try to get them a good lap time here. But you know, the 10, 23, 27, and I believe that's it for their team. Is really competitive, and they're in the top 5, top 4 every single race, and almost top 3 every single time or every single lap of the race, if not if they don't get involved in an incident.
As you mentioned too, a lot of these guys in a pack kind of running together, trying to improve their lap times. Gorka Turret in the back of that group in the 41 machine, getting a good run from Rodrigo Duran directly ahead of him. They head into the bus stop, and the bus stop too is another interesting bit. You know, this is typically a difficult corner in most prototype GT machinery because you're coming here through here at such a high rate of speed. Do you think it's going to be much of a trouble spot for these guys?
Probably with if people try to make a pass in there, maybe, but not really as treacherous as a you know, like in the 24 where you see incidents happen from people getting on the gas too early and spinning out the car. I think these cars are low enough on power, but this is the highest speed zone, not the front stretch, like most Daytona races or Daytona road races. That will be the highest speed corner, and probably if some people get a little risky going into there and try to make a pass happen while they're 2x2, maybe something might happen there, but I don't think anyone will spin on their own due to how low the power is on these cars.
Fairly close up at the top of the board. Third on back, second and first have separated themselves out by a few tenths apiece from John Madden, who hasn't been able to step up. I'm a bit surprised by this. I was kind of expecting him to be back up on pole, considering his pace in practice, but just quite hasn't had it. And do you think, you know, we look at John Madden and then we look at Berbagal and Duran, again, that team working together, and do you think that because they're working together trying to get the draft off one another, do you think that's actually helping them out quite a bit?
Yeah, with them being all lined up, I think that'll significantly help their lap times, and John Madden's pretty much on his own up there in third. And if he ran that lap time on his own, I'd be really impressed, but he probably got a little bit of a drag off another car, but yeah, he's probably being at a big disadvantage here. He pretty much has to make it happen on his own here with how strong this top 3 is and how strong this team is.
Qualifying starting to wrap up here as you see the sun setting at Daytona Beach. Quickly go through your weather as well. 82 degrees in the air, 83 on track, more or less as cool as you're gonna get, so these drivers don't really have to worry about that sliding around, especially in the infield section where there really isn't many banking to help you with the corners, so they got more than enough grip to work with. But we are gonna see this race head into dusk. Might not be too terribly dark, but may see the lights come on.
Yeah, I think we'll see it maybe in the third race or so, perhaps pretty late in it. I think some lights will turn on and stuff, but yeah, it's a pretty late race, at least in iRacing's time. It's pretty early, maybe a little later for them, but it's pretty early or pretty late for the iRacing time, and maybe this track condition, some people are better at night at the road course, but I don't think that really prowess can come into effect with how low the power these cars are. That's going to be a talking point this entire time as qualifying wraps up, and we're going to go through our first heat race.
Absolutely, gonna get ready to set the grid for heat race number 1 in just a little bit. Go to the grid here as they're lining up on the back straightaway. So, starting on pole for heat race number 1, we're gonna have Hugh Haycock start, or sorry, no, not Hugh Haycock. It's showing a different thing on my screen. Rodrigo Duran gonna be starting in first. Rafael Berbegal in second. Jonathan Madden gonna be lining up third next to Alan Schneider in fourth.
All right, and in fifth, you got Austin Winter and Larry McLeod in sixth. And seventh and eighth, you got Hugh Haycox and Fred DeSites.
Actually, I just realized something, and I just remembered too. I remember there's something wrong with ATVO and heat races, or at least our ticker and the races, and that's because it's showing the guys in the other heat race. So your actual top 5, I think actually I'll pull up the ticker. I think that'll actually give you an accurate view of where guys are lining up. And yeah, I think that's accurate to what we're seeing on track. So we'll let the starting lineup scroll across the top of your screen here. Everyone line up on the bank straight away. And you know, if you're a guy in this heat race, again, this should be setting the order for our main event. So it being a heat race, do you want to push harder, or do you want to kind of be a little bit more conservative to get a good starting spot?
I'd say you'd have to be a little bit more conservative, especially early in this going here. Maybe make some laps, or make some moves, lap 2, lap 3. But I think it's going to be all about getting through this first lap here, getting in your rhythm, getting in your groove, and make something happen in the last 3 laps.
And it's going to be Hugh Haycock, Austin Winter, Jonathan Madden, Rodrigo Duran, and Gorka Turret, your top 5 in heat race number 1. It's only going to be a 4-lap shootout. Drivers just about 10 minutes to get this race over and done with, so it's not going to be a whole lot of time for the guys in the front. It's going to be an all-out sprint near the front, and we see how hectic these guys can get near the end of races, but with it being, again, only 4 laps, not going to be a whole lot of opportunities. We'll see how aggressive they're going to be. Coming out of NASCAR Turn 4 now and onto the front straightaway. A beautiful sunset here in Daytona, Florida. Run on. Up, you're saying?
Really compliments the chrome on that car. Great job with that spec map there.
Absolutely. Beautiful reflection chrome here. Now on to the straightaway, and immediately on the gas, we are green here at Daytona for heat race number 1.
And you see this top 3 try to pull away from those Volcano cars there right off the bat, but the 8 of John Madden's going to go to the outside, not wasting any time to make something happen here.
Absolutely, and you hear the crowd roaring in the background as everyone filing off down into turn number 1.
A little sketchy there, but the 8 and 34 are going to be side by side going into this corner. Hugh Haycox and John Madden are going to try to be a little risky going into braking zone here. 8 really aggressive on those brakes there. I think he'll be the guy to beat as he goes sideways there.
Oh, and they're making contact. Madden going to spin out, and Haycox almost does as well. And for Madden, was looking like he might be able to win this race, and it was definitely looked like it would, but immediately lost it in the opening few turns of the lap and of this race. So he's going to get spun around. Haycox back in second place, as Winner now is going to be taking the lead of heat number 1, followed by Gorka Turret, Rodrigo Duran. Let's quickly try to take a look back at that, what happened with Madden.
Yeah, it looks like he just... Yeah, I saw those... When he went into that braking zone there, I thought he was a little late there. I was actually surprised that he did that. I was thinking that, hey, maybe if he could do that, that'll just prove that he's going to be the guy to beat here. But it looks like he just got a little loose in the braking zone and got in the gas a little early and get around. And unfortunately, the 34 was an innocent victim of that.
Yeah, and again, talk about cold tires, and especially the off-throttle oversteer in this car really catches you out. We're lacking the heat, and we saw that exactly happen there with Jonathan Madden, who all the way back in 18th place now. But the field rolling onto the backstretch and heading to the chicane for the first time, or at least the backstretch chicane.
You see a little bit of a breakaway from the 33 from the rest of the pack here. You can't really break away here since it's Daytona. It's such a draft fest. That was, oh my goodness, an incident of a chicane there. They went 3 wide into there, and 2 cars just pile in, and that's going to be race over for them.
Yeah, Yannick Chauvin and one of the drivers, Brent Nordstrom, I think, and Matthew Flipovich going to be involved in as well. And oh, this is exactly how it happened. Yeah, 3 wide into the bus stop is always a recipe for disaster. You can see the 279 started to spin off, and Chauvin and Nordstrom, or sorry, Flipovich got involved.
Yeah, that was I saw that happen. I was like, oh, how are they gonna make that work? And it didn't work. So as you see, the lead change, the 41 Volcano car, Iterate, goes to the lead, and then 33 is gonna have to try to get by him. He's came so close to winning multiple times last season, and just unfortunately couldn't get it done.
See if Gordon can finally get it done as well. Another driver looking for his first win. At least it might not be in the season, but still be a win. At least on SYM TV, and you can see Winner how much he closes into the braking zone. Also, what looked like might have been a pass once he landed into the 30 machine in behind. He's found himself in 4th place, just ahead of Hugh Haycox, who we saw sideways in the International Horseshoe the first time. Also, saw someone else in the grass, and that was Simon Mayer. Having a wild ride through the International Horseshoe, but it looks like he's got that car back rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, did a good job to get that car back under him, but you see up front the 41 and the 33. He's not letting the 41 go away from the 33, and the second Volcano car in this race, the 10 of Rodrigo Duran, is closing in on that 33. May see a little bit of challenge here.
And here they come back onto the oval section now. Austin Winner gonna get a really good run for a turret, and then you got Rodrigo Duran, teammate to the 41 up in front, is riding in 3rd place. There you see Winner pulling off to the side. Do you want to be this aggressive early on, or as a driver would you rather be patient?
Well, we're already halfway in this little race here, and oh wow, the 10's not going with his teammate here. He's going to help this 33 car, and I think he might go for the pass here into the chicane. No, not really, but the 33 is going to go straight to the lead, and now he has to hold off the charging 10 of Rodrigo Duran.
Yeah, well, at least now that they're with each other, they maybe have some options here. Although, again, I think as you see, right in behind them, Hugh Haycox's aggressive move to the inside of the 41 of Gorka Turret wasn't able to get the job done, but he almost forced the 41 out of the way. You can see him now giving him a bump draft.
Yeah, that 34 has to be fuming behind that helmet to just get taken out in lap 1, and if he can come back and win this thing, that'd just be a testament to his driving style.
Wow, deep on the brakes is the 34, going to try to get the spot away from Gorka Turret. Indeed will do so as they work through the chicane, and now already 2 laps in, we're halfway through this race, as you mentioned earlier, and there's Juan C. Lin in behind trying to get the spot from the 41, but door wasn't open wide enough, and is going to have to sit in behind in 5th. It's effectively a 6-car breakaway up in front. Ernie Zorit's the last of those 6 cars for this leading pack, and there's a big separation back with Ed Doherty, Chris Murakami in behind as well.
Yeah, nice comeback for John Madden, all the way back up to 9th. He's going to take 8th away from this, from the, I believe that was a 0-1 car, and he'll try to challenge up for 7th or 6th place around there. Or yeah, 7th place, and that's pretty much going to be all he can do. And that would put him 12th, I believe, on the starting grid there. Oh, wow, big slide there for the 35 there, and he'll keep it under control. A good save for Ian Haycox.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster for him, but a great save will keep him in contention, still looking back up to the front. Winner actually started to pull a decent gap, and this could either be really good for him or really bad for him. It really depends on how far he can pull away, and he's, typically you look at one being within a second to start getting some draft, but he's very close to being just out of it, but it might not be enough.
Yeah, and I don't think that'll really help him much if he's out of the draft or pulls away from them, because that just allows the 34 and 10 to draft together and get that speed up, and then if they can get that drag off that 33 car, they'd be able to get back up there with him, but maybe he can pull enough of a gap where nothing can happen. That 34 is a little bit separated from that 10 car. I think he's just going for position now. I'm not worried about making friends or working together here. As you see, he goes to the inside here. 41's going to push the 10 here. We're going to see a little bit of a challenge going into this bus stop here. That 10's going to have the not preferred line. He's going to let the 34 go, and what a great entry for that 34 car. He's catching that 33 really quickly.
Yeah, Gorgatar didn't quite have a good enough run. Once Lin trying to look to the outside. How about Yuri Zorit's trying to make it 3 wide? Oh, as the 10 of Durant are going to be 4 wide for a second here on the banks of Daytona. As Rodrigo Durant, I think, got a slowdown, and still Juan Lin not giving that spot up, trying to hold up Zorit as well. They're still going to keep this 3 wide going here onto the front stretch.
And they filed back down into 2, but it's going to be a really risky challenge going into this corner. The 82 is not going to be as aggressive as he was into the bus stop, but he's going to chill in behind these 2. Oh, wow, really aggressive on those curbs there. 82 got a really good run off that corner. May try to take a 3 here. Doesn't have enough of a run to do so. Oh, he does. Here he comes to the outside of these 2. And, oh, man, this is the slowest commentating ever. It's just, these cars go so slow.
Yeah, they take forever to get down to the next turn, but they're finally there in turn 1, and it's Zort that backs out of this battle, but still, it's her and Lynn going to be side by side here entering the International Horseshoe.
What a breakaway for the 33 and 34. It just leaves those two to battle it out for it. That 34 is clearly quicker than this 33 car, but we're going to see if Austin Winter can win this race here and be the winner of this heat.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get it done here. I want to just continue to ride on because I can't imagine this battle going to be ending anytime soon between these three guys. They're absolutely going at it. Still got half a lap left to go.
Yeah, Yerny Zoritz is going to try to snag this fourth spot, I believe, or try to get third. He's been quicker than these two for the past few laps. He just loses a lot of time going to turn 1. And I think that's what's really hurting him here. So if he could try to figure out that corner, he should be really good. He's taking really wide entries into the corners. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, and there's always a limit. You know, you either run too wide, trying to keep the momentum, but it didn't really have that much momentum and just kind of lost some distance here. But back up to the front now. Hugh Haycock's trying to chase down Austin Winter. There's no one in behind Haycock's to kind of ruin his run at the moment, so it's just himself and Winter. And he can kind of plan this out here. He's not going to try anything heading down to the bus stop, but heading out of heading out, he's going to try something. Yeah, might try something here. Nope, a little bit too far back. Going to back off.
Yeah, you can maybe try to throw one last Hail Mary into this front stretch chicane here, but you see how quick he is through this bus stop, and he had a huge run going in there. We're going to see what he can do going into this corner. It's going to be one big Hail Mary here sent in there. Hugh Haycox has been one to throw huge sends in the corners, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it here.
And here they come flying back into the front stretch again, have the last chicane to navigate. Here he goes with a big run, heading down into the front stretch chicane. He's actually going to back off here, maybe try to set up a run out of the corner. You see Winter in front go defensive, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Out of the final corner they will come, and Austin Winter is looking to take the win in heat number 1 as they see them both go below the double yellow line. Austin Winter will win heat number 1. Hugh Haycox in second. Gorka Turk going to win that battle for third place with Juan C. Lin in fourth. Yerny Zoritz in fifth. Jonathan Madden, how about his recovery all the way back to 6th place? Can't be too mad with that. Ed Doherty going to finish in 7th. Rodrigo Duran going to finish in 8th. As the timing scoring is messing up a little bit. I believe Simon Mayer is going to be scored in 9th. And Chris Murakami going to round out your top 10 in heat number 1. Again, we are going to invert the top 4. Austin Winter going to go back to row number 4 in the lineup. Juan C. Lin going to be should be starting on pole, if I'm not mistaken, by the way that's going to line up. So interesting stuff. Heat number 1 pretty good at the moment. Getting ready, waiting for the last few finishers to come across the line. We'll get started for heat number 2.
Yeah, it was a really great race there, and yeah, good strategy for Juan C. Lin to not go for third place. He could have done it, but just didn't really have to go for it there, especially with him being able to just snag that pole position away from the 41 car.
All right, and sessions change over, and I believe there are lights shining on the track now. Looks like I see some lights in the infield grass as we get ready to stage here for, yep, and lights are definitely on, at least on the pace car. These cars don't have lights, although they're painted on for the team of Berbegal. And I'm trying to see what else is there. I see another one of those cars.
The 27 and the...
yeah, the 27 of Snyder is in their colors for this race as well. Roll across the top ticker here. We'll just go through your top 5 here as it rolls across the top of your screen. Fred Desai is going to be starting in first, followed by Larry McLeod, a good friend of ours, in second place. Alan Schneider going to be starting in third. Rafael Berbical in fourth, and we're waiting on Jeffrey Fritzer, who should be lining up in fifth place. But that was an interesting race here, Liam. What do you think we learned from heat number 1?
I think we learned that the momentum off the corners is what's going to be the big factor here. Everyone's going to have to be really, really precise with how they take their lines off the corner, and you can't really make something happen when you have a bad run off the corner. You can get the draft, but you just can't get there, and we saw that with Hugh Haycox. He couldn't really make something happen there. Oh wow, the 27 went really wide there, but Hugh Haycox couldn't make something happen despite the big run he got going into the bus stop, simply because he didn't get that good of a run off the corner.
And later in the day here, beautiful sunset and a great stage for the SRF vRunOffs, the 26th edition of this racing. Glad for these guys to bring us on board. It's fantastic racing so far. We only had 4 laps. We had another 4 laps for heat number 2, and then again a 15-lap main event coming up shortly after this. So stay tuned to that. If you're enjoying the race so far, we'll double the car numbers here and a lot more on the line. Pace car now working on the front stretch yet again. We saw these guys take off immediately coming out of the front stretch chicane. Imagine we're going to see something very similar to that. Flagman waiting with the flag in hand. And here we go, off and away, and we are green again at Daytona.
Yeah, they went right away, but not really a bad restart as the car is going 3 wide already going into turn 1 here. You see the 23 is going to try to make a big challenge going into this corner. We're going to see if he can get it done. Oh, that 76 really loose under braking, but here comes the, I believe that's the 133 of, not entirely sure who that is, McLeod, trying to make something happen here, but he's going to settle for second here as the 76 is going to pull away.
Into the international horseshoe for these drivers. You saw an incident early on with some dooring between some drivers in behind, but it looks like they're going to make it out through without a spinner. We'll see if that continues on here. Still a brawl at the front, as you were mentioning. There were 3 wide, and we're able to get through that okay, but I see McLeod trying to defend from Snyder and Berbergall in behind.
Yeah, he's trying to do everything he can to try to keep him behind him, as that 23 car is going to be the guy to beat. We saw him try to make a huge move 3 wide going into the first corner, but he couldn't get it done there, and I'm not going to be surprised if we see another challenge going into the bus stop here. That 23 wants to lead.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see here. He's fighting McLeod here for 2nd place, and then Fred DeSace, trying to check out from everyone else. He's a few tenths up ahead, but we learned, you really need to be maybe more than a second to really see the draft negated. But DeSace trying to just run away with this if you can. It's going to be tough because he's got a bunch of other guys in behind, catching him at a very high rate of speed. They're already going 3, 4, 5 miles an hour faster than him. You can see the closing rate.
Yeah, it's that really illustrates how much the draft matters. Is he has a challenge from both accounts here, and that 76 is going to somehow hold off both of them. That is a really weird paint on that 76 car. Weird, but that 76 car is going to try to hold off this 133, and he will through this bus stop, at least this time around. And yeah, that is a strange paint on that 76.
Yeah, I didn't quite get a chance to see what it is, so I'll have to take another look after the fact. But you see McLeod is about to get a pretty good look up. He gives a bump to the 76. He tries to do a bump and run on the oval. Wasn't going to quite get it done. I thought he was just going to give him a bump draft, but was trying to move him out of the way. See the 76 of DeSace now trying to go defensive here into the front stretch chicane. McLeod a little bit sideways, getting the car low down, but back onto the front stretch and across the line to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, that was a really NASCAR-like move that didn't go well. You can't really do that with how low power these cars are. We're just going to keep talking about how low power these cars are, because it's just insane at how slow these guys go into the corner, but it's how precise you have to be, and that really makes up for the lack of power.
Yeah, as they work now, snaking their way on through past the pit road exit down into the International Horseshoe. Starting to see a top 4 breakaway in the front of the field from DeSace back to Berbergall. Got Jeff Ritcher sitting in 5th place at the moment. Oh, sorry, Justin Hall sitting in 5th place at the moment. He's starting to lose a little bit of ground to the guys up in front.
Yeah, and they're starting to show that they are the guys to beat here, but maybe if they get together or have a few bad corners, he can get right back in the mix and try to challenge for it.
Here we go, side by side for 2nd place. There you see the 23 Berbergall up the inside, trying to take 1st place away from DeSace, and they're going to be lined up 2 by 2. You're heading to the exit. The 76 going to cut off the 23 Berbergall. Almost looked like he was going to do a switchback on the infield exit. Didn't quite get it done, but again, it's all for naught because this oval section is really where it's going to be said and done.
Yeah, and that 76 threw a really big block on that 23. I thought he was really happy with it, but here he comes to the outside trying to make something happen, and looks like he's going to do it and make the pass happen. But here comes the 133 with a huge run on both of these cars. Maybe see a 3-wide move here. He went for it, and here he goes. He's trying to fake him out. Not going to happen.
And they both Berbergall and DeSace managed to block him on in. How about the 27 Alan Snyder trying to take the lead? Here we go, 3 wide into the bus stop. Someone's got to give.
Oh, we saw what happened last time, and wow, that 133, or that 27 made a huge move into there, and he's going to snag the lead away from that 76. That 76 was a big loser out of that. Oh, wow, that car shot out really far, the 42 car did. And that 27 is going to get an immediate challenge by that 76 car going into this front stretch chicane.
It's a fantastic stuff here. These guys being very aggressive here, coming to complete the halfway point of heat number 2. There they come, racing down to the front stretch chicane. Big jump on the brakes for the 76. He goes in very, very deep. Gets the car slowed down, but that compromises exit a lot. And there you see him spin in the back. That's Larry McLeod spinning on the exit, and a few more cars involved as well.
Yeah, everyone seemed to have sent it into that bus stop just as hard as that 76 did, maybe a little harder. And we saw that not work out for the 76 on his exit, and you saw the 133. He goes in really deep into this corner, misses that apex there, and just gets a little bit of help from that 164, and 2 cars go around behind him. The 8 of 7 also involved.
This is a 4-inch Arabian in behind. Hits the 59, up and over the curbs they go. And he gets, he actually, did he get beached?
I believe
oh yeah, he got beached.
Oh, I thought he got it righted. I thought he saw him rolling around. No, he didn't. He got stuck there on that curb.
Meanwhile, heading through the kink now in the infield section is the 27 and the 23 of Snyder and Berbergal, respectively. Is Berbergal going to charge it to the inside, and the West Horseshoe is going to take the lead of the race. And Fred DeSay is trying to get his lead back after he lost it a little while ago, and he's trying to hound now the back of Snyder for that second place spot.
Yeah, the more I look at this paint, the more I get weirded out by it. But that 76 is I think I see some teeth on the side of that car. That is strange. But that 76 is trying to reel back in these 2 Volcano cars. We're gonna wait for it to pop into shot here, and it's underneath, and there they are.
Yeah, that is really
a wacky paint. Ugh.
I have no clue what it's even trying to figure.
I don't know.
I guess it's just supposed to be like a really rundown car. I think that's supposed to be like rust past the front wheels, but heading into the backstretch chicane and to the bus stop they go. The 23, 27, and then also Jeffrey Fitcher, who's been able to catch up after all the carnage that's unfolded. He really hasn't made too much noise up here near the front. I feel like that can change here in the next lap and a half.
Yeah, he's trying to pull in these guys. He hasn't really been too flashy so far in this race, and those red and blue colored car, really similar to a Richard Petty type car. But he's trying to reel in these 3, and that 76 is laying back for him, trying to get a little bit of run in here. And you see how risky he gets on those brakes. He has to back out of it. Tries to throw one Hail Mary going into that corner as we come to the white flag.
Yeah, it almost looks like every single time that someone's going to just absolutely send it, go flying off the track. But again, these guys are able to get it low down. The top 2 actually starting to break away from the rest of the pack. I think that's all according to plan here. As you mentioned, white flag in the air. Final lap for these drivers to get it done. It looks like it's going to be Berbergal Snyder in the top 2. As they say, that Fred DeSay charges it down into turn 1. Going to lose a little bit of speed on exit, but he's just trying to keep in that draft. If he can stay in it by the time they get back to the oval, he has a shot of the win.
Yeah, you can throw one send into the bus stop, and that's pretty much the only chance he has. Or he can do it into the front stretch again. He really only has 2 more opportunities, bearing a mistake from these 2. But he has 2 more opportunities to drive up there and try to get by those 2.
Yeah, you can see the distance separating him. He's around 7 to 8 tenths of a second back from second place. Just got to get his head down and try to get the best out of the West Horseshoe here and the exit back into the oval, which we've seen quite a few different drivers struggle with to really just optimize the speed on exit. Berbergal looking to have a nice lead. Curious to see if these teammates are going to cooperate. You think they will?
I think they're going to go for the win here. I mean, it's a for fun race, so it's not for points, so they don't have to really work together, but they can try to make it just so it's a bit, 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. But,
yeah, and actually looking at Snyder, he got there's a second gap between himself and DeSay. I think that's going to be too far back, so I think effectively it's going to be between the teammates here. So we'll see some Mercedes-style racing, we'll see something more like Red Bull, where they're just going to go completely out of here. See them giving a bum draft to one another here, trying to break away. I think Snyder may try to pull a pass here coming out of the bus stop. I think this is just trying to give them enough room to battle it out.
Yeah, he's probably trying to set it up so they can just be these 2 here as That 27 is going to take
Oh
a header.
no! And a
Oh,
mistake
no.
from DeSays is going to send him flying off into the tie barrier on the final lap. And even if this was, even if he wasn't going to get the win, he was still going to have a solid 4th place starting place. That would have been 2nd in the race, but he's going to finish way down the order now as we go back to turn number 4. Here we go, teammates side by side. It is Snyder on the outside and Berbergal on the inside. And the 27 and the 23. Here they go into the final chicane. Who's going to be braver? It's going to be Berbergal going completely in and gonna make it on through, and he will come home winner in heat number 2. Great stuff there at the end of the race. Alan Snyder got to settle for 2nd place, with Jeff Fritcher rounding out 3rd. And the final of the inverted spots is gonna be for Miraski. Gonna just find his way on through to 4th place. Will end up starting 2nd when they do the invert. Dominique Bureau, Justin Hall finishing just in behind him. Larry McLeod gonna probably be disappointed finishing back in 7th, had a race-winning car underneath him. Stephen Beardsley gonna finish 8th, Brian Howard in 9th, and Antonio Reyes in 10th place, rounding out your top 10. Oh man,
Oh,
yes. Some interesting stuff there in the final lap here, all going off, and that's really unfortunate for Fred to say as we go to the next page here. Finishing all the way back in 12th.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He had such a good run going, and then just turned a, I think it would be an 8th place starting spot for this heat. It turned into a 24th.
No, that would have been actually 2nd again with the invert, so he was looking at starting in 2nd, is going to be starting 24th. So he's going to be pretty disappointed with that. And you know, there's just those that classic mistake. You know, we see it even again in GT and prototypes. You just turn the car in too much, you get too much curb, car goes spinning around. Again, the off throttle oversteer in this car is a big factor that caused a lot of wrecks on the entry, and unfortunately caught DeSays out there. But with that, we should have a warm-up period here for between the heats and the feature race. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go straight into it. Okay, never mind. They're not wasting any time here, and we'll get right immediately down to the grid and get your orders sorted out.
Once gridded, we have a top 4 invert, so the 33 is going to be on pole. Oh, wow. No invert, actually. The 33 is going to be on pole, or the 10 is going to be on pole. The 33 is going to be 2nd. What? Oh, okay. I am messed up with this, but the 8 of John Matt is going to be 3rd in the 4th place car. I didn't catch his name there, but Austin Winter is going to be, for your winner from last race, will be 5th, and Larry McLeod 6th, and Hugh Haycock 7th, and Fred DeSays 8th. Wow, this is a strange running order.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's showing 2 different things.
Oh, it might be the qualifying results.
Oh, okay.
This grid, that's strange.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess you're right by that. Although, so I'm guessing the invert didn't work out, because they were definitely supposed to have an invert at the very least. But I'm guessing that didn't work out, so it's just going to be by qualifying results. That was just a nice little warm-up for the first 2 races for these drivers. But now is where the money's on the line. Not that really I don't think is any money on the line. It's more just for fun. But now it's going to be for everything here. We got a 15-lap race lined up here. 37 cars lined up and getting ready to go underway here at Daytona. Fairly big grid. A lot of things can happen. We've seen quite a few things go on in the heat races. And do you think that that people have been holding back?
Well, now that the entire field is here and everybody was being super aggressive, you can get the most aggressive from those 2 races into one race, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they battle each other and how they, the people that watched the race or watched each other's race is going to attack this race.
You have to see the camouflages here from the giant grandstands here at Daytona. The field rolling on through as we get ready to start the main event here. It's the 26th vRunOffs with the Spec Racer Ford pace car into pit road. Field rolling on through, and here we go. Green flag's going to be in the air, and we're green here at Daytona.
Yeah, the 33 with a great start right off the back, but the 23 is going to waste no time to go to his outside and try to challenge for the lead. Here he comes going into this corner. Not pretty wide this time, so he can try to make it stick, but it's not going to happen. The 33 is going to get a great, really great braking and try to drive away from these 3. Oh, wow. 27 really wide in that corner.
Yeah, and here they go side by side, still for second place between Rafael Burbagal and Hugh Haycox. Burbagal going to send you to the inside and clear the 34 of Hugh Haycox. Alan Snyder in 5th. Gorka Turret is going to be lined up in 4th place as well as they work their way on through out of the International Horseshoe. Ooh, I see a spin in the background, trying to see who it was. It looks like it is Jeff Jacobson, as some more contact and more guys spinning around. Matthew Flipovich and a few others going flying on through the grass, but the top of the order seems to be okay. Austin Winter holding on to his leading spot coming out of the West Horseshoe.
The 33 has been pretty much dominating this race, and he dominated last race, and he's going to go to the oval, and this has been one of his better zones in the track, but he's going to take a wide arc into the oval, and he's going to try to snag the lead away from the 23. He's going to try to keep it, actually, and he will.
Well, it actually does look like the heat results were set properly. There just wasn't an invert for the top 4, because I noticed that Fred DeSay is all the way back in 22nd, which is around where he finished. But as you look at Austin Winter here, as they come onto the back stretch for the first time, here we go into the bus stop. It's going to be hard to try to make a charge here with the cold tires. You got to be careful of that, but tell that to Hugh Haycox. He's making a big run from 3rd to 1st. Oh, as a big wiggle from Gorka to turn in behind. He's going to have to cut the bus stop, and that's going to be a massive time penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much his the end of his chances at winning this race, unless he can get some luck here. But that's going to be pretty much it for him. It looks like he just got super loose on the braking and just missed the entire bus stop. But we go back up front, and here are these two battling for the lead. The 33 wasting no time trying to take it back from the 34.
Make that 3 battling for the lead here as they come off of turn 4 now, setting up for the chicane. Haycock's going to line up in behind. And what's your strategy if you're one of these 3 drivers? You want to just kind of weigh in again. Remember, these guys are going to have a pit stop to make for this race before it's over. So is it worth just waiting around, or do you want to just kind of go at it?
If I'm the 23, I'm going to wait around. Let everything come to them, and the 27's probably thinking this, just let them get together here if they're going to get together. Just, mind your P's and Q's and just relax in the back and let them battle it out there and have some tires at the end and try to go.
Alan Snyder in behind. We're talking about him in 4th place, just in behind these guys, effectively in this 4-car breakaway we have for the lead. Then it's John Madden, who's been able to work his way up to 5th place after starting in 11th. So a great start for him has moved him up the order. And we'll see how far if he can get there. He's just out of reach of that leading group, but again, is one of the faster guys in this race entirely. So definitely should have the pace to just race his way back up into the draft.
Yeah, indeed, and he's going to try to get his way up here. Oh, wow, big battle there. Wow, that 10 threw a really, really nasty move into that corner, but he'll keep it. He'll keep the position on that car. I doubt that car is really happy with him for that move. That is the... Oh, wow, he threw one heck of a send going.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. That was Ed Doherty to the inside of, or sorry, that was Duran to the inside of Doherty. You can see him, is side biting each other.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you call it on these things.
I guess just say door banging or whatever. But that 10 has a little bit of damage that may hurt him a little bit. I don't think he's going to be able to win this race with how far back he is in the field, though.
He's quite mired back in traffic. There's Gorka Turo, the big move, trying to make it 3 wide on the backstretch again. You see Jordy going to peel back in line, just going to be side by side with Hall. Oh, he almost looked at the camera, make it look like Jordy was trying to squeeze it 3 wide up the middle. You got to be very careful side by side through. You see Jordy make a big mistake through the bus stop, going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, I thought he was going to clip the grass there. I thought it was going to be pretty much a race over for him, but they're going to get back going and try to get back up to that 10 car there. But the 205, I believe this was the champion for the second series that was ongoing. There's 2 championships going on. I believe this one was the champion for the second split in the series. I'm not too sure. Since it's a 205, I'm pretty sure they were the champion. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, I know it was Mirareski and Greg Stefani that were the main competitors in that series. Mirareski doing pretty well for himself in 8th place. Dominique Bureau right behind. Then Justin Hall, Rodrigo to run this little pack, as well as Gorka Turret. This little 5-car pack here in for 8th place. But getting back up to our leaders for just a sec to see what they're up to at the moment. It's Austin Winter ahead of Hugh Haycox, Rafael Burbagal, Alan Snyder, John Madden. Onsi Lin trying to chase his way back up to the front.
And a strong showing for John Madden trying to get back up into the top four's draft, and he's certainly doing it. All he needs is a little bit of help here. He's just outside a second away from the 27 car, and he can try to leapfrog his way from car to car and try to take the lead away.
He's actually lost time back to Snyder. I thought he would have been gaining. Yeah, last lap through, we'll take a look at it here. The lap comparison between both these drivers is pretty interesting to say the least. There it is. There you see that is Madden being 4/10 off of Snyder's time, up in third place. So the draft, I think, playing into the fact that really Madden doesn't have much of any. Although he's within 8/10 of a second, might get a little bit of a tow here from Snyder.
Yeah, he pulled him on time through that last corner there, and you may be able to get something up here. He has a little bit of help from once he went from behind him, about 2/10 or 5/10 back. A little bit of help here. Maybe he might give him a little bit of help to get up to this 27 car, but I think he's a little far back right now. Maybe he can get something happening later. 33 with a big problem here. Loses 2 spots to the 34 and 23.
Yeah, just got passed by them on the straightaway. I think just decided to let them on by. Still fairly early on in this race, as we're only on lap 3, coming to lap 4, and that's where we've been ending the heats off. We're going to continue for pretty much over 4 times that here, or just about 4 times that here with 15 laps. Again, you had that pit stop up and coming, and that's gonna be the interesting thing strategy-wise. You know, coming for a pit stop. What's the best strategy for that? Do you want to try to come in early, or do you want to wait for everyone else to come in?
I think it's pretty much you got to pit with everybody that's pitting. I don't think you can really do anything when you're on your own, especially with how draft heavy this track is. Pretty much half this whole track is going to be relying on the draft, and if you don't have that draft, you're going to be about 2-3 seconds slower, perhaps. And those guys are going to be able to reel you in and try to do as much time as they can, especially after they pit.
Here you see the top 6 all establishing themselves nose to tail as Madden's able to work his way past Snyder, who will drop himself back into 6th place. So it's fine. Jeff Richer a bit bored, I imagine, and being by himself, not within the draft of anyone else, by himself in 7th place. Dominique Bureau has worked his way up to the front of that second main group of cars from 8th on back. Justin Hall, Rodrigo Duran, Miraski, and Gorka Turret rounding out this pack here. Also Larry McLeod too, and he's been struggling being back here. Started in 14th, only up to 13th for the 133.
Yeah, and you see John Madden, we kind of wrote him off in this here, and he's already 4/10 back of the leader, so a really strong run for John Madden. He's going to take second away. He's going to try to chase down that 23.
He's wasting no time, as you were saying, working his way, cutting his way up through the field. I thought he would have been a little bit more patient, but he wants to lead a lap, and he wants to lead it now.
Yeah, he's trying to get as close to the 23 as possible, and he's going to probably make a move into this corner here.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, the big thing is he can definitely get this move on by. He's well within range of getting it done. Problem is how is he going to be able to keep it? Because you're a sitting duck up here in the front, and you see Berbagal letting him on by. Nothing much he can do except to give way to of Madden, who will take the lead out of NASCAR Turn 2.
And that we kind of wrote him off. He was 2 seconds back, and he made up 2 seconds in 1 lap. So if that's a huge gain in that lap comparison, it has to be he had to throw down a stellar lap there to try to make up that distance. And wow, he took the lead away.
Great running here. 6 cars within contention of the win at the moment as they run. UK Cox too. Again, a great recovery for him to make sure he didn't spin out in race number 1. Remember, both actually, ironically, you and Madden were involved, and both of them find themselves still back up in the front of the running for the main event here.
Yeah, and we kind of wrote them like those guys. They kind of get a little impatient here, so they're starting to show us. They're trying to get into a rhythm here, get going as 518 is not clear. It looks like he's involved in some of the car. So that 8, John Madden, is still leading this race. Not sure what happened to the 518 there, but looks like it's going to be race over for him.
And well, I should see if we could take a look at what happened to the 518 here. See what got him down on pit road in the first place, because it looked like it was pretty interesting to see the lead. Was that him? Oh, that was him.
That will help.
Find where he went.
He had a little help going to the bus stop here. The 518 went for a move here, and the 233 probably wasn't too happy with it, but here he goes. Throws one center of the corner, kind of misses the apex there, tries to go across, and just misjudged it.
Yeah, unfortunate end for his day in the tiebreakers is going to be Josh Flores in the 518. That will be probably calling it a night. Going to end up back in 32nd. Also, have some few drivers that made their way onto pit road. And Tony Race, see him coming out of pit road. Foreign Zarabian, Yerny Zoris, and Matthew sorry, not Matthew Filipovich. He's actually still running by himself. And Simon Mayer are notables coming down onto pit road for completing the first stops of the race so far. Back up to a leader is John Madden ahead. Rafael Berbigal. I can't imagine that's going to be for too long, though.
Yeah, and here comes the 23. Going to try to make a challenge here? No, he's going to stand behind him, try to help him, try to get away from the 33 and 27, and try to just make it 1 versus 1 here and try to have the better driver win.
Here they go, breaking into the bus stop for these drivers. 23 keeping a nice tight line through the bus stop and going to get a great run off. You got Alan Snyder, who's been able to carve his way up into 3rd place after lagging behind back in 6th. Doing a great job here as he's going to get a massive run. Will he try to get the lead here?
See that car pull up, trying to make a move here at the 23, and the 27 is probably just going to work with his teammate, try to assist him, try to get to the lead, and he'll try to find his own way by the 8 car, but the 8 is going to steal the lead away.
Oh no! There's
no.
The 27 gets punted from, I think that was Austin Winter in the 33, and just like that, Snyder's race is going to be over hard into the safety barrier.
Yeah, oh, looks like a little bit of net code there. I know that's a classic excuse on iRacing, but this looks like a clear instance of this. The 33 gets a little tough on the brakes here, and actually, no, it looks like that's strange. If we could get an outside view of this, back from a turn 4 cam, it was just weird. Like, he gets close up to, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a little bit of net code. Yeah, there was some distance.
Tough to call. I don't know how to.
If this view has anything. Yeah,
that was a way too violent for what was going to happen there. So, yeah, it looks like a little net code with that 27 car. That's really unfortunate for him. Had such a strong showing there, but it's going to be the 8 and 23 pulling away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, that broke up our leading pack quite a bit. We have Madden and Berbigal are top 2. Then Austin Winter, Wansi Lin in behind as well. And that's only really what's left of them, because one of the drivers that was up in the top 6, Hugh Hickox, he's come down to pit road.
Yeah, and really interesting to see this. Can't really make up a lot of time due to not having any drafting partners here. Really good pit stop for him too, especially with these cars. But it's going to be I'm not going to be surprised at all to see him not be in the lead pack anymore. Probably cycle out 6th, 7th, or 8th place.
Yeah, curious to see. So he's just about 29 seconds in behind the leaders, and that's around the pit road delta. Maybe minus a lap or 2. So we'll have to see here, or sorry, not a lap 2, minus a few seconds here and there. So we'll see where he's going to end up. It's going to be close, but I definitely agree with it. It might be behind, especially if the top 2 start to work together, Madden and Berbigal, to break away from the rest of the pack.
And that 8 and 23 are just showing that they're the class of the field here. The 8 with a critical mistake last time, and I think in the first corner, with a critical mistake, he's really showing that, hey, I'm the guy to beat here, and I'm not surprised at all to see him leading, but here comes the 23, still going to help that 8 car.
Actually surprised, Madden's actually running really low. I'm not sure if that's helping him or not. He was running on you see the car bouncing up and down as he was running on the apron a little bit, trying to keep the car in tight. That might have been costing him some momentum, not quite sure, but coming back onto the front straightaway here. Curious to see if we see any more takers down onto pit road of our leading group, and it looks like everyone's going to continue on out. Nope, I see one guy peeling off, and that is... Yep. Rigo Duran down into the pits. Also, that is Gorka turning behind him.
Yeah, the 10 and 41 are going to come down pit road, and maybe the 41 might try something to get up to the 10 and try to work together and try to make a charge for the lead towards the end of the race. But that 41 and 10 are going to go down pit road, and the 8 and 23 still on the racetrack, and they're running some of the fastest laps of anybody on the track.
So a great run for them. Looking a little bit further on back, battle for 6th place at the moment between Justin Hall, Dominique Bureau trying to chase him on down. You see, got a great run out of the International Horseshoe as we're just about halfway through this race.
Yeah, and this is a pretty lengthy race for fun race. I believe it would be just over a normal event, including the heats and warm-up and everything. So the 8, John Madden, has pretty much leading ever since he took the lead, and the 23 is working with him to try to pull away, and you can see the effects of the draft really illustrated by that delta between the 33 and 23. And 2/10 quicker that last time by. Oh, wow, the 33 actually pulled a little bit there. Maybe trying to be a little aggressive on the brake here, but you can see his gap pull away a little bit. Yeah, about a 2/10 a lap, he's slower than the 23 car.
Also, if we probably turn that off and then nope. Oh, that's not working. Interesting. I tried to change it to the lead car and it didn't pull anything up. I'm not sure if it was maybe because it's a change for the lead. But there's a gap between Burbergal and Winner, and then looking at Madden, who apparently didn't have a lap time recorder, or it's just not working for some reason. So that's interesting. Yeah, it is a bit strange, but you can definitely see that Winner is losing a little bit of time to Burbergal and Madden, and might be losing a lot more. His lap seems to be a lot slower.
Yeah, he fell off. Like, he entered to the oval 2.6 back, and he lost over half a second. So it's unfortunate for him. It doesn't look like he's going to be challenging for the lead anytime soon, bearing a mistake from these two.
Work on back to the front stretch. Are we going to stay out yet another lap? I think we could probably see them go all the way till maybe 4 laps to go. I think is kind of looking to be more or less these guys are fuel limit.
Kind of surprised they still haven't pitted yet. That is really interesting to see that they are stretching it this long. Not too sure if that'll be to their dismay or not, but the 8 and 23 still working together. Maybe that 23 is trying to save a little bit extra fuel, but I doubt it'll matter much when he just wants it to be a battle between those two. As you see the 76 of Fred DeSykes up to 11th after that early spin. Or no, not from a spin, from that late spin in the heat. He's up, I believe it would be 13 spots from his starting position.
Yeah, indeed, you're correct with that. Start all the way back in 24th place and is up into 11. So great climb forward. He has yet to make a pit stop though, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So he might drop a little bit further back, and also Yannick Chavin in front of him. He had a big swing. He loves starting from the back, although I don't think he quite meant it this time because he was going to finish decently well in the heat race. Started in the back of that, ended up finishing in the back of that. Started all the way dead last, and 37th is up in a 10th.
Yeah, that's a really impressive climb forward. Up 27 spots. That's no small feat at this road course. Keeping that car clean and green, and that 34 of Hugh Haycox hasn't really made up that much time. 15th place right now.
No, and from what I've been seeing too, I think he's lost around a second or so since we last saw him in comparison. The gap that's expanded out about that much. It's not too much, but it's I think more than he would quite like. So we'll see here how it's going to work out. It really depends on how well of a pit stop Madden Burbergal will get. Getting on pit road and then coming off pit road, they can maximize entry and exit. That could be definitely a deciding factor out to see. And also from Hugh Haycox to right behind is Rodrigo Duran, who also made his stop.
And that'd be an impressive climb forward if that tank can cycle out 4th or 5th place. Looks like that the 34 will cycle out around, I would say, I want to say 3rd place, perhaps 4th if the 33 can close in a little bit more on him. But here comes the, oh no, the 8. It looks like he was going to peel down pit road. Not going to happen this time. Still staying out another lap. 33 also stays out another lap as well.
Jeff Richter, I think something's wrong with him. He cuts the chicane. Gonna come down onto pit road. Maybe he's having some internet trouble as well.
Perhaps calling it a race or so. Maybe he got warned for his connection or something and has to go fix it, but go through the bus stop here.
I don't see, maybe he had to slow down or something. I saw him slow down quite a bit. He was running really well and then just kind of backed off the pace.
Perhaps something came up or something. I don't know. Probably just had to get going or something. Yeah, he blinks there. And looks like after he lost a spot here, he had to pretty much just call it a day or something.
Oh yeah, you can see him flashing out quite a bit. It's unfortunate considering he was running really well, had a top 10 car. Him kind of trying to pull off here and I think avoid causing harm to any of the other drivers. He actually is back out on the track. Maybe he fixed something. We'll see that internet's improve. He lost some time though in that whole exchange, so he's going to be back probably I think a little bit further than he would have liked. So still should be somewhere near the front, but as he actually has the internet flash to cut back up to our leaders, now working back into the oval. Maybe they will expand this gap out quite a bit. Winner is not looking like he's gaining any time on him.
Yeah, 33 isn't gaining any time. He's actually lost. Only actually gained a little bit. Well, not really, but he's pulled even with that 23 car. But one thing I noticed is the 8 is starting to pull a little bit of a gap on that 23. but that 23 is able to make a really big charge on the oval. Strange that we're not seeing John Madden's lap time.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not working. Doesn't want to report Madden's lap times. I don't know why. Really weird as they work on through the bus stop here and now back onto the oval yet again. You gotta imagine at some point within the next lap or two, these guys are gonna have to make a trip down onto pit road. Do you think they're gonna try to work together to come on down together, or do you think they're gonna try to outsmart one another?
Definitely. I'm really surprised he ain't throwing that. That is a really strange line on the oval. I would think that he would be on the yellow line just to cut a little bit of time, but he's probably scrubbing off a little bit of speed, maybe trying to prevent him from going for a pass here. But I'm really surprised that he hasn't hit yet.
Oh.
And there he goes. And
Berbergal. Oh, interesting stuff here. So Berbergal decides not to come down with Madden. That can be either really good or really bad. I'll have to see which way it's going to work out. I would have said, honestly, coming down with Madden would have been the safer bet, but we'll see if this strategy is going to work out for Madden as he comes on down. Also, Miraski and Larry McLeod coming down onto pit road as well. You see now where Madden comes back out. Here is Madden, and then notably the leading car of drivers to pit is actually Rodrigo Duran. Who Haycox is actually pretty far in behind. I think he made a mistake this lap.
Yeah, it was strange. That big of a gap has formed from the 34 to the 10, so probably a little bit of a mishap going into the bus stop there, but he'll be a good bit behind. No, it wasn't even this lap. It just looks like he had a bad couple laps.
No, something definitely happened. Yeah, here we go. Because he ran 5 seconds off of his normal pace.
He goes in the corner, just oversteps it a little bit, gets on the gas, and cuts it way wide. And yeah, once he gets that gas, oh wow!
Yeah, that's where he lost all the time.
He does a good job to keep it going and keep the momentum up, but he gets back going, and 34 is a good bit behind that 10, but I don't think he's written out of that battle for.
Yeah, so here's John Madden here sitting in 8th place, and then we look on back. There's Rodrigo Duran, who is a little bit ways behind Hugh Haycock. So he was looking to lose about maybe 5 seconds or so before he ended up spinning out. So he was looking. It wasn't looking like that was going to work out for him. So he's definitely going to lose out something on Madden, who's taking the lead race now. As we look further up ahead to Rafael Berbergal. Then looking back to Austin Winter, and Winter's actually started to make up some time here.
Yeah, that 33 is able to try to pull in that 23 a little bit. As you see, almost a whole second gained on him. So that 33 with that, I think the 8 car pitting, with John Madden pitting, that allows the 23 to no longer have that draft, and the 33 is able to make up that time on that car. But I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that 23 come down this time. There he goes.
Winner looked like he might have thought of coming in, but he's going to stay out in 2nd place. Will now go to 1st, and he'll be the official leader of the race. Is still again has to make his pit stop. Wansi Lin to stay out, as well as Justin Hall. Dominic Bureau is going to come in for his stop. Yannick Chauhan working through the final chicane. Now he's going to stay out another lap, and then we find John Madden all the way back here coming through the tri-oval.
Yeah, significant amount of time back from the 33 car, but the 33, let's see what his actual delta is back to the 33 car. And as we see right now, 20 seconds, so wow, that's going to be a significant gap he's going to have on Austin Winter, especially with how lucky he got with those.
Oh, and you actually see there, too, coming out of the pits, there is Rafael Berbergal, and lost out some time. It's not too terrible. Seen a lot worse, so he should be able to drive, especially with some lap cars to deal with, but he should be able to drive back up to Madden.
That 8 got a little lucky with that, catching those lap cars, especially that car right there. He got really lucky and was able to draft off those cars on the oval. Meanwhile, the 23 and 33 didn't have that advantage. At least the 33 did, but the 33 doesn't have it anymore, as Wansi Lin is trying to pull in that 33 of Austin Winter.
Here's again Berbergal trying to catch back up to Madden here. Can't quite let him get out of sight. If he lets Madden go, Madden's going to have a clear shot of winning this race without any contest at all. He's actually also going to get a nice draft from Yannick Chauhan up ahead. 4th.
As you can see that they're having a really solid run here. Yannick Chauhan is running, got 4th place, a significant amount of distance back from once you win in Austin Winter. These two are not going to be challenging for the lead by any stretch of the imagination. But it's unfortunate that they're not in this battle up here, because I think they'd be able to throw on a strong challenge for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you see though now, these guys work through the back section of track. Still looking at the delta between Burbagal and Madden. Burbagal's really got to go now. Can't afford to let Madden get any further away from him. He's kind of been managing the gap at 1.2 seconds, and Burbagal needs to close that into under a second to really start feeling the effect of the draft.
And there comes Austin Winter down pit road, and that's going to be the big money stop here. We're going to see how big of the delta is going to be for Austin Winter between him and the number 8 of John Madden, but maybe he thinks that this strategy might work a little bit. He's probably going to take a little less fuel.
Yeah, I think
he's able to do that.
That's going to be his only real bet. I think is just do a splash and go and immediately get back out as soon as possible. Him going 6, 7. Here I'm roaring back up 8.5 seconds. That was actually almost 2 seconds quicker. There you see actually Madden working his way on through. This might have worked out.
Yeah, and that 33, he's not going to take the lead away. Oh no, that's not going to work at all.
He's not going to take the lead, but this is crucial because now he's actually back in the fight. Because remember, he was straggling quite a bit ways out of the battle earlier on. He was sitting 2 seconds behind, trying to chase him back down. Now he's within draft range, so he's back in the fight.
And he's 2nd place, and that allows the 23 to get a little bit of tow off that 8, off the 33 car. And now it's going to be a 3-horse battle for the lead. And what a strategy for Austin Winter to get himself back in the fight. And again, a few tenths behind.
And again, if you're wondering where he made up that time, look at the pit stop time, 8.5 seconds for Austin Winter. And then looking at John Madden, 10.7 seconds. And even for Burbagal, too, is 10 seconds for him. So Winter making up a lot of time down in pit road. So we work our way back. Oh, I think I heard a car spin, too. Yeah, there we go. That's what I heard on camera, as Larry McLeod having some trouble here.
Yeah, what a strong start to the race. And just goes south really quickly, as you see. Really loose under braking here, and classic example, just steps out a little too far.
I am amazed we haven't seen more of this type of wreck in turn 1, because this is kind of where you expect, a long sweeping corner where you have to slow down and turn at the same time. It's a recipe for having this car getting looped back around. But there's one, see Lynn up ahead. He's going to again come in for his pit stop as the last car that needs to make a pit stop on the track. If you look back up, John Madden, Austin Winter, Burbagal, we're back with a 3-horse ready for the lead here. It's far from over.
Yeah, that 33 car is trying to reel in that number 8 machine, and that 33 is trying to maybe work a little bit with that 23 car. That 23 car is a little far back, so he's probably best friends with this 33 car. Hopefully they can get racing and mess up their lanes a little bit so that 23 can get rid of the battle, make it a 3-horse battle. But it's going to be the 8 versus the 33 for now. But that 23 is a little far back. Actually, no, he has a whole car to get through, but it's going to be pretty much a 33 versus the 8.
Here they come flying on through the chicane now. At the line, it's going to be 3 laps to go left for our drivers. Past the line here. Now, what do you think for Burbagal? Do you think he's going to just kind of sit here, or do you think he wants to get himself in 2nd place? In fact, which is the best place to be when the white flag flies?
I want to say being the 2nd place car, because if you're the 2nd place car, you can kind of control where that 3rd place car goes. If the 3rd place car goes high, you can kind of box him in with the guy on the inside, and you'll still have that momentum. And I would say the leader is pretty much at a big disadvantage here, because he can't really gauge where that 33 car is going to go. But if you're the 2nd place car, you can make that move, and you can also prevent the 3rd place car from making the winning move if had that happen.
Working through the kink now here again. 2.5 laps left to go. 5 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock. That should be more than enough time to complete our last few laps. Burbagal again lining up on Austin Winter. Burbagal, a few wins to his name this last season. Madden, a few wins to his name last season. Winter, only one of the 3 to get a win in the last few weeks, and we'll see if he can get it done here. He's got a perfect opportunity in lineup. He's just got to get past one car, stay ahead of both of them by the time the checkered flag flies, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep the lead, but you see this 8 with this really unorthodox line going into these turns. He's all the way on.
Yeah, I can't imagine this is doing him any favors. I definitely agree that it's probably scrubbing him speed off from him, but I think with someone as fast as Madden, he would either know that or he maybe knows something we don't. As I hear Berbigal screaming past Winner as he's going to back out for giving that 23 the corner.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that he gave him that spot this late into the race. Coming to 2 to go, he doesn't really have that many opportunities to make something happen here, but that 23 is going to... He's actually... I bet he forgot about that whole thing that 23 does. He just tries to get a little bit of separation with just 2 cars. Battle for the lead is. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the 23 work with the 8 here. No, he's going to go to the outside and try to go for the pass for the lead here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more working together here as these guys coming to get 2 laps to go here at the line. Side by side is both Berbigal and Madden at into the chicane. Coming back out onto the front stretch, a lap car up ahead. Not sure who that is.
Yeah, I can't really tell there. But hopefully they'll move it away. That is the 240 of Jeff Jacobson. I don't think there'll be much of a factor here. But 2 laps to go. That 8 is throwing on a strong run here tonight, and that 23 kind of missed that corner there, but that 23 is not letting him out of his sights. The 33 also in the mix here.
Yeah, never know. Lap cars could always be a factor if they don't get out of the way or are just remaining in the way. We'll see here how the leaders are going to navigate. I would hope that the 240 lets these guys on by and sees that there's 3 guys duking it out for the lead. I'm sure they're going to like him to move out of the way as soon as possible. Although Matt's really going to like for him to stay just a little bit longer in front so you can just get some sort of tow and have some sort of defense from Berbigal and company in behind him.
Yeah, and these Spec Racer Fords are really relying on the draft, so maybe that...
Oh, and Jacobson goes flying off the track, so he's going to immediately stay out of the way for our leaders here. I don't think they should have any more lap traffic to deal with.
I was just about to say, maybe the 8 maybe thinking that 240 to try to get a little bit of tow off him, so the effects of the draft for the 23 car wouldn't be as prominent, but here we go. The 23 took a wider arc to get a good run on the straightaway. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see a big run going into the front, the backstretch again.
Yeah, he's right. I'm still amazed. Yeah, I still, every time I see it, because he's the only one doing it. He's the only one running on the WL line. Everyone's giving at least, a few inches of clearance of it. And I see Berbigal trying to make a move here. Side by side, going to blow past the 8 before they even get to the bus stop. So he will hold the lead position here coming out of the bus stop. Oh, as Madden tries to fight on the outside, going to have to tuck back in line, though.
Yeah, we've seen how aggressive this 8 has been in this front stretch again, so maybe he's trying to set something up for this last-ditch effort, but we're coming to 1 lap to go here. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see 1 big send for this 8 car. 8 car not taking that usual line that he's been taking, maybe he's trying to get a little bit of draft off the car in front of him. Really interesting.
Trying to hold face here as you see Berbigal up in front. Roll working the way to the chicane now. As they come out of it here in a single line, it's going to be white flag in the air. You're looking at one of our 3 race winners, unless they all take each other out. In that case, Wansi Lin sitting standby in 4th place. But here we go, white flag in the air. 1 more lap around Daytona for our leaders.
Yeah, the 23 is going to try to take 1 big swing at it, or try to take 1 big swing at keeping it behind him. But here comes the 33 challenge of the 8. That's what the 23 wants to see. Those 2 start racing, so you can pull a little bit of a gap on these 2 cars.
Here we see them working on through, now heading towards the International Horseshoe. Madden trying to maybe look up the inside. Is going to stay in behind Berbigal now. Going to try to swing to the outside. Have a late apex, get a run. Austin Winter got a great late apex, and look at the run he's got. Although I don't think he's got many places to go with it, though.
Yeah, it's just assisting him for a big run going into the backstretch chicane here. If you just keep that momentum going out of the oval, he may be able to get 2 for 1 here. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah, I think that's what all these guys are waiting for. They're just kind of trying to keep close to each other as much as possible. We're going to definitely probably see these guys going 3 wide through the oval section here. Here we go. 1 more corner of the infield. That's going to be the last of it. It's all going to be decided on the banking at Daytona here as they come flying out. Berbigal leading ahead of Madden, ahead of Winner, your top 3.
Yeah, and that 8 didn't get really a good corner there, but that's going to give him a huge run with this 33 behind him. The 33 has a little bit of separation, so he'll have the biggest run of these 3. But here comes the 8. The 33 going straight to the outside. Here comes the 23. He's going to try to box him in, but here comes Austin Winter on the outside. Here comes the 8. 3 wide going into the bus stop. I'm not surprised at all by this happening. Contact between these 2.
Look at them, a straight drag race heading down to the bus stop. One of these guys is going to have to give, otherwise they're going to have a mess. Here they go, deep under the brakes into the bus stop. Looks like Berbigal is going to take the spot ahead of Madden, ahead of Winner. They still got one more chance to get back at him.
Yeah, what an effort by that 33. I think that's going to be his chances for winning this race out the window. But here comes the 8 of John Madden. He's going to take that really low line, try to get a little bit of a run on this 23 car. He's going to definitely get to his outside here. Here he comes. To the outside goes the 8. They come side by side into the final corner. The 8 and the 23 dead even. The 33 is lurking behind. If these two get together, it's going to be the 33 winning this race. But here comes John Madden.
And Burbank make some contact into the final quarter. Gonna rough each other up, but it looks like they're still able to hold face for now as they come out of the final quarter. Burbank trying to make up something on the inside. It's gonna be a drag race at the line. Who's gonna take it? They're gonna be during each other. Glad I set up this camera because here they go. Photo finish. It's gonna be Madden by a few inches.
Yeah, 0.009. That is an incredible margin of victory in that 23 of Rafael Burbigal with an incredible last lap effort in that 33 with one heck of a send into that bus stop. That was one heck of a last lap there between these top three. Man, what a race.
Yeah, what a race indeed. Great job by John Madden putting on a show, and again the delta between these guys too, absolutely amazing. Take a look at that yet again, but John Madden, your race winner. Fantastic job done by him, and we'll take another look here at that finish because man, was that exciting. Also slow it down too. This is you can only really see blurs going past the line, but one blur was slightly ahead of the other.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be dead even. I mean, it looked like a little bit of net coat happened between those two with a little bit of a, yeah, okay, so we're going to see this 8 and 23 going to the bus stop. 8 with a little bit of contact with that 23, has a little bit of a bobble, and then he clips his curb, and this is what causes the race here. He goes wide, here comes the 23. The 23, it looks like they get ahead a little bit, but then that 23 just doesn't get it going. The 8 pinches him, and wow, oh my goodness. Just a few more feet. If this is Talladega, he would have had that one. But man, that 23 due to that 8 pinching him, just barely gets that win away from that 23 car. What an effort by John Madden.
Yeah, there's the gap on screen right there. The gap that won John Madden the race. That's what 9,000ths of a second looks like in a Spec Racer Ford. Be a lot closer if it was F1 or NASCAR, but it's still really close for these cars. It's only maybe a bumper, and you can see also Austin Winter are going to be finishing this race out in third. But man, what a fantastic job of these guys. Great race put on by all three, and especially to keep it clean. That could have gone either very dirty or very clean. They kept it nice and orderly here as we look through your final results. We'll look at the rest of the top 10 as well. And with John Madden taking home the win, 1T Lynn, he came in very late in his pit stop, was able to come back out in the 4th, stay there. Hugh Haycox, too, was able to recover back up to 5th place. Not sure what happened to Rodrigo Duran. Is, I think, way down the order. I think something bad happened to him. Yeah, finished 2 laps down at 31st, so it was not his day. But with that, we'll cut to a quick little commercial break here. We'll be back for interviews here in just a little bit. And welcome back live here from Daytona with your third place finisher, Austin Winter. Austin, we're talking about how close you were in some occasions this season to getting a win. And you were close on this occasion, but weren't able to seal the deal. But that was a fantastic race there at the end between yourself, John Madden, and Rafael Berbagal. Walk us through the finish.
Well, I thought I had it set up pretty well. I was on that outside lane and was coming around John, and he just kind of bumped me out of the way to create a lane for himself. He should have been pinned down there and had to let off, but he forced his way through and made me on the outside, 3 wide going into the bus stop chicane. I thought it would have been at least 2 wide at that point, maybe even clear both of them by that point. So I'm kind of upset, John. I don't think that has any room to exist in this kind of league. Well, I guess this is vRunOffs, but we're a friendly community.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the finish for that race, is there anything you think you could have done different to maybe change the outcome?
Maybe pinned him harder. I don't know. I don't know if he didn't know I was out there or what, but maybe when I got 3 wide, I should have just backed off and gone single file through the chicane behind both of those, and then had a run at him going into the NASCAR chicane.
For Austin, it wasn't a win for you, but still another solid finish to you. Congrats on your third place finish.
Thank you.
With that, we'll go to your race winner, John Madden. And John, what a fantastic run to the line for all three of you. That was an entertaining last lap, and walk us through how you were able to get it done on the 23.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close race. It was a good, tough, hard race. That's what it's going to come down to at a draft track like Daytona. I don't know what these guys are expecting. But anyway, yeah, it was good fun.
It definitely was a lot of fun for us to watch, and especially going, walk us through, especially going through into the backstretch chicane on the final lap. How are you? Like, what was your plan? Heading into there and also coming out of it.
The last chicane, is that what we're talking about?
Both chicanes.
The both chicanes. Yeah, both chicanes. I mean, I got a run on them. I took the hole. There was a hole. I went through it. It was close. It was going to be 3 wide through the chicane, which obviously wasn't going to work. The outside guy had the lift, which he did. You have to wait a long time to get back on the power if you're out there. So I had to wait forever. And then I finally got to Rafa, and yeah, it was. I mean, there was some contact. He hit me in the rear going into the last chicane, I think, but no big deal. We went through and then just went to the finish line. I don't know these guys. I don't know what these guys are looking for, but this is a race here.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely was, and it was a fantastic job for you, John. I mean, as you're saying about it's a race, and you won the race at the end of the day, so congrats to you.
Yep.
All right, and with that, we'll be going to our next person to interview. It'll be Wansi Lin. And Wansi, you did a great job in your race. Unfortunately, you weren't quite up there by the end of it, but you still had a really solid run, especially finishing out in 4th.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the race. It just went exactly the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, you ended up being 7 seconds behind, especially, walk us through your... I was curious if you had anything planned as far as the pits, because you were the last guy to come into pit road. I'm also curious how much fuel you had left.
I just enjoy leading a lap. I mean, I can show off to my friends that I led a lap over Madden, likes of Verbigo and Winner. So that's something I always do, actually. You can notice I led 2 laps. I pitted last at Phoenix.
Yeah, and also, looking at this race, I asked the same thing to Winner. Do you think there might have been anything you could have done to maybe, keep yourself up in the lead pack? Or do you think it just, unfortunately, wasn't meant to be?
I don't really think I have the speed, but I'm not running any downforce. I'm just running the lowest possible ride height. So I feel I can always keep up with the leaders' draft on the straight line. Although I struggle a little bit in the corners. That's why I just keep hanging out in the tail end of the lead pack. And then there were some crashes and some shuffle. And by the end, I came in 4th. I think that's an overachievement for me.
It definitely was a fantastic finish for you after starting 7-1C. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, and thanks for broadcasting.
No problem. And with that, that's going to wrap up interviews here from Daytona after a fantastic race there to the finish. some great racing between these guys, especially to keep it. I guess in some drivers might argue it wasn't entirely clean. I would say that's clean considering another guys went flying off into the tire bears. We'll go through your entire finishing order here. You can see the top 10. Yannick Chavin able to climb back up into 9th place after struggling a little bit earlier on and just struggling due to the fact he started back in 37. So 37 to 9th for the number 13 car. Looking at Fred to say he's able to climb back up from 24th to 11th after his woes in the qualifying heat races. Yerny Zoritz, who was up there a little bit earlier in the order, has fallen all the way back to 15th. It wasn't entirely his day, as well as a few other guys struggling down on through, heading from 20th to 30th. Some other notable names, Chris Murakami, who we saw do decently well in the heat races, didn't quite have it here. Same thing with Larry McLeod, ended up finishing 2 laps down after we saw him spin out in turn 1 time. It just wasn't entirely his race. And looking through the last page of results, there are a few other guys struggling during the race and having a few problems of their own. But looking back to the front page, again, John Madden winning by 9 thousandths of a second over Rafael Berbergal. A fantastic race for these drivers. And with that, it's effectively going to wrap up coverage here from SYM TV for the SRF vRunOffs here. With this group of drivers, and some fantastic stuff here. If you want to watch more action on SYM TV tomorrow night, we head to Tsukuba, I believe. No, not Tsukuba. We are off. Sorry, we have Erska tomorrow night in the Xfinity cars. They're heading for their season finale at Atlanta, so some good NASCAR action on Atlanta. An old bumpy surface, but puts on some fantastic racing. So if you're interested in stock car racing, stay tuned to that. As far as road racing is concerned, nothing a whole lot coming up. We just had a cup race last night at Road America. Other than that, I'm checking out some other stuff we got going on. Formula I is really the next road course race we have scheduled on the calendar, and that's coming to you September 12th. Or sorry, no, September 26th from the Nürburgring. But for now, and for the end of this race, my name is Finney Kuhn with Liam Sheen. We're SYM TV, and we'll be signing out. Thank you for watching.